It's fall planting time, and we're going to talk about some of nature's little miracles, and that would be bulbs. The whole plant is ready to go. The bulb is set to plant. There's nothing more you have to do than find a nice place in your garden and put it in. Now, one of the first rules of planting bulbs is that they don't want to sit and rot. So if it's a puddly area, if a lot of water drains into it in the fall, or if it's really wet in the springtime, that's not a good area for it. So I always recommend that people use a window box or a planter or something like that, and that gives them a nice little sunny spot and a shot of color first thing in the spring. You just leave it sitting outside on the ground, and there's nothing more you have to do to it. You plant it properly, and then first thing in the springtime, just about the time you're so sick of the look of snow, your bulbs will be in bloom. There's a whole range of not only colors, but varieties and heights. And if you're planting bulbs in a window box like this, you have to stick with your short ones. Just to give you an idea of some of the bulbs that we have, there's daffodils, yellow daffodils with a slightly orange trumpet. We have daffodils with a double trumpet and a nice pale lemony yellow. We also have, these are tulips. They're early season tulips. They're fairly tall. They're about a 14-inch tulip, but they're very, very frilly, and they do bloom early in the spring. And then, of course, back to the daffodil that we all know and love, the bright yellow daffodil. And then one of my favorites, the little species tulips. It's only 6 to 8 inches tall, but they're fantastic. They're up first thing in the spring, and they tend to multiply like crazy. So you buy a package of bulbs this year, you treat them properly, and next year you will have lots of bulbs, and it just keeps going and going. Now, the easiest way to plant a bulb is when you take it out of the package, you take a look at it, it has a little pointy end. For the most part, the pointy end is up. And even if you make a mistake and put the pointy end down, it will just spin around. It doesn't turn in the ground, but the stem will just twist around it and grow up. It'll take longer because it has to take an extra journey to get around, but it will come up the right direction. Now, when you're planting these bulbs, particularly in a window box like I'm using here, it doesn't have to be that deep. The bulb has to go down about 2.5 to 3 times the height of the bulb. So that means that there's lots of space in this box for the bulb. I've got a nice loose top, soil in here. I bought a bag of good loam from a garden center, and it's here in the box. And when I go down, I use my hands. Lots of people like gloves, lots of people like trowels. But I always figure I have to be able to dig in it with my hands. It has to be loose enough for me to use my hands for it to be good soil. And I just dig in and I go down, and I'm pretty well used to this, but I mean to say there are trowels that have marking lines on them, there's rulers, there's lots of things to help you. Pointy end up, down it goes, cover. Now, since this is a window box, I'm just going to put them randomly through here. But I have made sure that I pick all early blooming ones and all short ones, because I don't want them coming up all different heights and at all different times. I want this to be a display all at one time. In your garden, you can put the early shorter ones towards the front, taller ones mid-season, late, anything you want. You can have color all season long. Check around all your different stores. There's beautiful bulbs coming in. Make sure you pick healthy ones. They're worth the extra cost. For Shaw TV, I'm Dorothy Modridge.